Curious about some movies that are going to be coming out that are going to blow up the scene? Well, we've got front row seats to go see a lot of movies at the Fantasia International Film Festival. And I'm going to tell you about the top 5 movies that I'm going to want to watch. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a top 5 of the horror movies at Fantasia International Film Festival. Now, as you guys know, I am a channel that does more than just horror. I also like action, like kung fu. I like international films from all over the place, genre bending, everything you can think of, even thrillers and comedies. If I feel that it's appealing to you guys, I'm going to put it on this channel. For today's purposes, I'm going to stick to just the horror entries. And believe me, guys, there are so many great films that I want to see this year at Fantasia. It was so hard to pick. So I tried to pick 5 unique films that I think will stick out that not everybody might pick, some of which they may, because there's some that are just too cool not to want to see. But I will not be talking about Together, which is going to be premiering at the festival. It's not that I don't want to see it. It's just I know everybody's going to put that on their list because everybody loves body horror. So why wouldn't you? But you guys probably already know about Together anyway. So what I'm going to do is pick 5 other films that you probably should check out. I'm going to hopefully review on this channel, and I can't wait to talk about. So we're going to do it in real time here. I'm going to try to do it in one take. Be excited. Here we go. All right, Fantasia International Film Festival 2025. 50 films worth the entry fee. So, hey, we're ready to go. Let's see here. We also have a ton of stuff. Now, I just went to the horror category, but as you can see, there's action, animation, classique, comedy, documentary, drama, experimental, family, fantasy, horror, LGBTQ, martial arts, musical, romance, science fiction, thriller, western. And oftentimes, since a lot of these films are genre benders, they are all mixed into other genres. So you might find some of the same movies in different categories. And I also went with just feature films, although I do plan to check out the short films as best I can this year. Those are the ones that are, if you want to talk about films that are going to be coming out, these are the directors that they're going to be making movies in the future. So, but I'm sticking to feature films for today's purpose. As you can see, there is a ton of movies that we can be talking about. And honestly, guys, like there's not one of them that I really wouldn't want to see. Like I'm just a movie nut. So what I did is I picked 5 at the top here. You can see I got some picks here, and we're going to go over them right now. The first one that really caught my attention here is Good Boy. And no, there was another film that was done within the last couple of years called Good Boy, and I think it was a British sort of thriller comedy or something. This is very different. This is actually from the perspective of a dog, this dog in particular. It's directed by Ben Leonberg, who actually, this is their first feature film. They've done some shorts, but I've heard a lot of really wonderful things about this. It's being talked about pretty highly. It's only 73 minutes, which kind of excites me because I tend to like films that do that, but we're already seeing good stuff about it here. But it says, from the first moment you see him, you know the indie playing himself is a very good boy, as loyal as dog can be to his human. Todd, Shane Jensen, Todd uprooted Indy to his late grandfather's, which is Larry Fessenden, remote house upstate, and before he even sets foot in the house, Indy can sense something is not right. It's not that it's just the house in the middle of nowhere and seriously dilapidated. There's something that Indy can sense that Todd cannot. Todd has his own problems. He's dealing with some sort of mysterious illness and worried sister Ariel Friedman, who won't let him be, and he can't see what Indy sees. And what Indy sees is a mysterious presence that draws his suspicions while also drawing him in. Indy can only do so much to warn his human, he's a dog after all, but he's going to protect him with all his heart before what's haunting this house comes for them both. Because Indy's not just a good boy, he may be the bravest, smartest boy of all. It's apparently one of the bigger talked about films in the festival already, and I heard that it's heart-wrenching and it's something that is very different. Probably like something like Presence is, the movie Presence, where it did something different with that. This is, with a dog. And I really kind of like this kind of stuff, so I'm really kind of anxious to see how it wins me over. But I've heard it's pretty scary. It's heart-rending. A thoughtful, unnerving, heart-rending portrayal of how utterly terrifying it can be for a dog when his whole world is upended and he's unable to understand why. Megan Navarro, who usually has some pretty good takes, so that's a good sign. Now, there is another one, and that, by the way, that one, for those of you who are going to be attending, is on Saturday, the 19th of July. So if I do get a chance to review this will be a review that will come out on the 19th. So I'm going to be putting them out day after day. So you're going to want to stay tuned to the channel. If you don't see something, just go to the channel and assume there's a new video up. There may be 2 videos a day. I'm going to try to condense them into smaller videos, so that it's not so much. And I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but I also don't want to get into too much depth. Maybe like I would like a normal one, because these are movies that may not come out for a long time. But we do have another one that I already got a screener for, already got reached out to for this one. And this one is Hold the Fort, which is a horror comedy by director William Bagley. And this one looks a lot of fun. This is by the director who did the Murder Podcast, which I have not seen. The synopsis is about Lucas and Jenny, who think their life is finally coming together when the couple becomes homeowners. Little do they know that their new house comes with a big catch. Lucas and Jenny soon find themselves in a fight for their lives when they soon become trapped in a battle between their homeowners association, the HOA, and an onslaught of monsters from hell. The horror comedy takes timely concern of home ownership and wraps this up in an entertaining, action-packed thrill ride from Blue Finch Films. 74 minutes on this one too. So again, not, wearing out its welcome. You know what I mean? Just enough to really make a punch and get in and get out. Love that. Don't mind that at all. I love long movies. Don't get me wrong, guys, but sometimes they can be trimmed up a little bit more. But this one, it seems like a really fun one. There was a line in the trailer, which you can also look up the trailer for this. I'll try to put the trailers for the ones that have trailers in the section down below, or I'll just link you to the festival, and then you can go there and check it out for yourself. But yeah, this one had a line where he's like, wait, so he's like, you want me to fight evil? Yeah, it's part of the whole deal of staying in this house. He's like, well, I don't want to buy the house then. He's like, well, it's too late, or something like that, something kind of ridiculous. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. We also have another one. Oh, and that one airs on 2 dates, Wednesday, the 16th of July, Saturday, the 26th of July. So 2 different nights. They got a 12 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. on the 16th and a 12 p.m. on July the 12th. Again, I'll put links down below just in case if I don't get something right, you can check it out for yourself. Here's another one. This one's kind of a horror thriller science fiction movie that looked really cool. And by the way, it's from the director of 2 directors, Kevin McManus and Matthew McManus, who did the movie The Block Island Sound, which if you've been on this channel anytime, I'm a fan of it. They just put out the 4K. I did a review of it, and I love the vibe in that movie. They did so much with that movie. It was a Lovecraftian masterpiece for just dread. Not a lot of tentacles or anything like that, just doing practical stuff. Very good movie, though. This one's called Redux. Did I say redo? Sorry. Redux. This one is a story about a desperate mother who's avenged her daughter's murder by any means necessary. Irene Kelly, played by Michaela McManus, journeys through the parallel dimensions to repeatedly track down and annihilate her killer, who's played by Jeremy Holm, who's a pretty popular genre actor who's been in a lot of really crazy movies. He's from the House of Cards. That's one of his big ones, TV show. Deliverance by any kind of weapon, every kind of weapon. All she can do is stab, shoot, maim, and rage that's devouring her, yet gives her a singular purpose and meaning, even as it threatens to corrode her humanity beyond any possible point of return. Then one day, no further plot reveals. So, if you didn't catch that, she is basically traveling through dimensions to kill this guy repeatedly to find out what happened to her daughter or to get revenge. And it's a different situation in a different world each time. And so she just keeps killing this guy over and over and over and over again. And I think that just sounds fascinating. It sounds like a really fun horror thriller sci-fi to me. And so I'm looking forward to that. You got July 22nd and the 24th for that one. Links down below. Watch the trailer on that. It's pretty cool. Here's another one that I'm kind of interested in. I have not seen their first movie, which is on Shudder, but this one is called New Group, which is directed by Yuta Shimotsu, who also did the movie Best Wishes to All, which just came out on Shudder within the last couple of weeks. It's a full feature film. Apparently, it's made a lot of waves and done a lot of good things. I did not get to catch it. I really wanted to, but I was just slammed with work. So I will be reviewing that in the future. But this one is about young I, a convincing Anna Yamada, is a shy, anxious student who struggles to express her emotions. It has been said that her extremely strict high school leaves no room for creativity or the assertion of the slightest divergent individuality. However, a new pupil, Yu, who has lived abroad, is transferred to her class. The teenager stands out with his nonchalant, even arrogant attitude and his trenchant views of superfluous need to belong to a group, even a family, and attracts eyes, attention. Then, a fellow student plants himself on all fours in the middle of the school's soccer field without warning and refuses to budge. The next day, two others join him to form the beginning of a human pyramid, motionless and silent. When the headmaster calls everyone together and instructs them to take part in this disturbing gymnastic formation, violently beating up the dissidents, Yu drags Ai away to escape this nightmarish scene and avoid being swallowed up by this new group imposed by an increasingly fascistic and brutal administration. The problem with this kind of ideology is dissenters always have to be either absorbed or annihilated, which just sounds bizarre and wildly metaphorical. I mean, you could probably take this multitudes of different ways. A lot of us old folks, we think of the young kids today in a more uniform way. There is a lot of tribalism that goes on in the world today, be it politics or movies or whatever. And I think a lot of that stems from the internet that we use. So I find this particular subject to be kind of mind stimulating. And I think it's kind of like a perspective of someone who is looking through the same lens of, belonging to something versus being, your own individual about things. There's no takeaway from that. I'm just explaining what I think about that kind of thing and why it interests me. This sounds fascinating. I really want to watch it. So this one comes out on July 25th at premiere at the Fantasia Film Festival at 9:35 p.m. And then last but not least, we got another one. And keep in mind, guys, if I didn't name one of the ones that you did or maybe are going to be watching, just know I have a lot that I want to see. And I would watch every single one of these and review them if I had the time, which I'm going to make sure I try as hard as I can. So buckle the fuck up, guys. All right, now we got another one from France, Argentina, and Spain. It's a co-production or tri-production of a movie called The Wailing, which is just horror. It seems supernatural in nature, but it's really super stylized if you watch the actual trailer, and it looks fantastic. First of all, I'm a huge Argentina fan as far as like filmmaking goes. They have been blowing up the spot here lately, and I've just taken more risks with them and won than a lot of other places that I've seen movies at. And there is something in the water there. So if they're working with France and Spain on this, I'm in. But let's see. So this one is in a modern day Madrid. It's called The Wailing, by the way, by Pedro Martín-Calero, who actually, this is their first feature film as well. It already won honors. It's got an official selection at a lot of different festivals in 2024, and it got an honor at the San Sebastian International Film Festival in 2024. But yeah, in modern day Madrid, Andrea's world is turned violently upside down, haunted by a terrifying entity that she can neither see, understand, or explain. 20 years ago, thousands of miles away in La Plata, Marie is being tormented by the very same presence, a third woman. Camilla has a gut-wrenching understanding of what's happening, but nobody will believe her. In their darkest moment, each will hear the same terrible sound. A ghostly wailing will overwhelm their senses. So yes, not the Korean film. I believe it was a Korean film, The Wailing, which is also a really great movie, but a new one. So I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, there's the three women, and maybe that's the wailing ghost. I don't know. But it seemed really stylistic. The music and everything seems really popping, and it even kind of reminds me of, if you've ever seen that movie Lose, and the way it's shot, or, you know, one of the other new movie that they did, the same director. It has some really good styling to it, and I'm super excited to check this one out. They're calling it like a Pulse era Kiyoshi Kurosawa style movie. So, I mean, you can't really beat that. I'm kind of into those films, and we don't really get to see them as much anymore. Not any of the good ones really anymore. So I'm hoping this one will be great. But yeah, those are my top 5 films so far. There are plenty of other ones, and there are also sci-fi thrillers and all these other ones that, man, there's some really crazy thriller comedies at this festival that I can't wait to check out. So definitely stay prepared for that. We're going to be doing a lot of different genres here, so please stick to the channel and find out. But I want to give a big thank you to Fantasia Film Festival for allowing me to come and be a part of this wonderful event. I had a blast last year. It's run by some really great people, and it's given a lot of opportunities to some really great films, and to be a part of that 2 years now in a row means the world to me. So I hope it means as much to you guys. So again, thank you, Fantasia, and everyone that's working on it. But yeah, guys, I would love to know what you are excited about out of those 5. If you have other films, there's going to be links to everything down below, so you can actually go and check out all the films that they're going to be doing. Tell me your favorite movies. I would love to hear all of it. This is going to be kicking off July 16th through August 3rd, which will probably bleed over a little bit as far as coverage because I'm going to be doing so much. I know some of you get a little bit anxious to see these films and you can't see them yet, but just know I'm your source to find some of these new movies, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion about every single one of them after I watch them and tell you about it. We'll try to condense them down so we can get more films in, and I can give you a better kind of glance as to what is coming out in the near future that might be on theater or in, streaming or wherever. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thanks, and as always, long live the void.